This shit is unscripted, real and raw, no gimmick. Two sisters who's winning and representing on business. Business.
Hey, what's up, sissy?
What it do, Bookie? What it do?
This is episode 2 of This Shh Is Unscripted.
And welcome. We have a special guest. We have our, I don't know how to really describe it, because it's like my sister, best friend, close friend, and that term is always loosely used, but for me, when it comes to my sister, it's somebody that she keep spinning around with, and she speaks so highly of. It has to be a best friend. So I would say my sister best friend / our new sister.
Yeah,
it's like our new part of our family. Like, we all have different things going on.
Different part of the fam now.
Yeah,
your additional little sister.
Yeah, additional little sister, but with all the motion, which I love my little sisters, because all my little sisters got shit going on, and that's what I love. So yes, welcome Lex.
Yes, my ace boom cool.
Right, we need some more claps.
Thank y'all for having
welcome
me.
in.
I'm so excited, ladies. So today, y'all, we're gonna be taking it back to our 20s.
Okay, I like this.
We're going back. We're in the 30-30 club. We living like it. We looking like it. So let's go back to our 20s. Today, we're gonna be giving the girls some gems, some untold stories, and just where we was at mentally.
Good
you know,
time.
and sissy, you know, you are one of the best to give them a story, honey.
Yes, good time.
And I'm gonna try to get more comfortable with this episode, and you know, give y'all as much as I possibly feel comfortable with as well, that y'all might can learn from.
Yeah, fact.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
All right, so the first topic we're going to talk about is, if you could go back to your 20s, like, what's something you may would do different? You know, we usually stand on business on, you know, but just if it's something, what is something you would do differently?
I think in my 20s, it would be a few things. I mean, I feel like I did a lot of things right, because, I mean, I'm here where I am today. But first and foremost, I would just say that I would guide my heart. Because in my 20s, I'm a small town country girl from Albany. So, transitioning here to Atlanta, a lot of things I thought I could be mentally prepared for, but I wasn't. So I met a lot of sharks here. A lot of people that could attack someone as naive as myself, like green. So I would say that I would just kind of protect my heart, because it was very scandalous with some encounterments I made, whether it was friendships, relationships, just a lot of people. So I definitely would just say, definitely got my heart. And other than that, I would just say focus on my bag, my money, and just making sure I'm continuing to secure myself for financial freedom. Always, because I've also been in situations relationships where I enjoy money. People say money isn't everything, but money is everything. Yeah. And it's a lot of things that I would tolerate sometimes, and I look back on it like, what I was thinking, but they compensated with financial gain. So I would just say that I would change those things. I would have dated with more of experience, and not try to think like, oh, I'm gonna marry this nigga, because that was not the case.
More like in the moment, instead of thinking the potential. What about you, sissy?
For me, I think, and we're going back to change, or to tell myself, or to change something.
Something that you would change in your 20s, or, you know, like, you might regret, or you might feel like you should have done differently.
Okay, for sure, I would definitely tell myself, in my 20s, it's kind of hard, because it's like my 18 is where the teen part of my life was where I really started just putting myself in a position where I was starting to fuck up a lot. So it probably, for me, if I could just jump back to 18 right before 20, I feel like I would tell myself, like, it's so much more life ahead of you, and just because it feels like this is everything to you now does not mean that this is your forever.
True.
Sometimes temporary things feel like they're going to be forever. And for me personally, it was just understanding that some things that feel good don't mean that they are good, and it does not mean it has longevity to it.
That's true.
I feel like that's what drowned me a lot. Starting at 18, going up into my 20s, I was chasing something that I really didn't even know what I was chasing. It was just certain things. If it felt good for me in that moment, I rolled with it. And instead of having standing on those principles, those morals, and everything that I know better of, or things that I know better about, I still took that road of doing whatever the fuck it was I chose to do, if it makes sense.
Like, and even if you know better, I still chose
to do that. And it was like to just follow right mind because
Yeah.
I always been intelligent. I
Your
always,
discernment.
yeah, I always my discernment.
sometimes
It's always been sharp.
It's always been there, iron sharp.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
when I decided to get my mind right, which was still in my, I think it was still in my 20s, close to going into my 30s. I appreciated that part of wiping that part of my mind. Like, actually, I don't give a fuck about what other people are doing. I don't care about what. I don't have FOMO because in some part of my 20s, I think I did have what they call the FOMO, where they the fear of missing out. That's what FOMO is.
I was going to tell you to elaborate.
Yeah, so FOMO is the fear of missing out. Yes, you want to be a part of it, and in some small parts of me, I think it was just because I really never cared about missing out on things, but I just wanted to be a part. I don't know what it was.
Probably social.
Lost for no reason because I was never really truly lost. I just went and put myself in a lost situation.
And I feel like sometimes with that, it be the adventure, that thrill that you get off of just
Excitement.
like, I know what to do, I know right from wrong, but it's the thrill to see, like, is the stove hot? It look hot, but let me touch it just to see. And for me, it would be honestly to live in my age. You know what I'm saying? It would be to act my age, because now as you get older, you know what I'm saying? It's like I don't live this life so long. I should have slowed down. I was chasing money. You know what I'm saying? And when you chasing money and not God, it led me to a place where I got exhausted. And God will never exhaust you. You know what I'm saying? So that was me following my plan and not what God plan was. So it would have really been like act my age, not trying to be growner than what I supposed to be at the time, and just slow down, because time do go so fast. So you want to, like we talk to our nieces all the time, like I tell Shyla, you want to do this, that, and the third, but you ain't gonna have, what you gonna do in 10th grade? What you gonna do in 11th grade? Slow it down, because you take your experience away from yourself.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
advice, sis.
Yeah, so that would be me, to slow it on down, boo, and live life every day like it's a blessing, not like I gotta have this, I gotta do this, and in me it was like competition with myself. Like I was trying to beat the last year me, but that ain't even important. That don't be about nothing. That exhausts you out.
But do you think most female bosses, like if that's something in you, do you think we all kind of like struggle with that type of anxiety? Like it's like we just always focus on what the future's gonna look like. Let me just like move fast and do, like that's all you focus on is your bag.
Yeah, and I feel like when I really gained my inner peace as a woman, I stopped worrying about the what ifs, the why. I just stopped worrying about any of that, and I just started doing what felt good to me.
Right.
Because everybody got a timeline of what they supposed to be and where they supposed to be at by now. We know in our 20s we was like, we ain't doing this, which we haven't. We still standing on business, no kids, all of that. We still standing on business.
First of all, you introduced a lifestyle to yourself, a level of your lifestyle to yourself, if that makes sense. And you did that at a young age. And this just me speaking from my point of view to yours.
Right.
You did that at a young age, so I don't necessarily think you was chasing money. You saw the potential of what was out there at a very young age. So when you have seen something at such a young age, and to know that, okay, the sky the limit, because if this is what I can touch right here, and I'm only 16, 15, 14 years old, by the time you hit 20 years old, you have already seen what average person your age, even in their average people in their 20s, haven't seen the amount of money that you had succumbed to during that time. You get what I'm saying? Even me as your sister had never seen that kind of money that you was obtaining at such a young age.
For sure.
So it seems as if you chasing money, but it's just you unlock things a little faster. So unfortunately, what they would put you in is AP classes. So with
I would have been behind, girl.
Yeah, like so, it would have been AP classes. You know what I'm saying? So it's just you just started early. You had early experiences, and it's not necessarily just what upbringing. It's what you put into your own introduction to what you wanted for yourself. You just always chased that,
and I feel like that's why I guess I'm so big on giving game to like our younger generation coming up, because it's like if I had my knowledge I have now in my 30s, and back in when I was 16, 17, I would have been a multi-millionaire as a teenager. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I be so big on we just game people up. It just naturally flows, because I'm like, even if I didn't do it, you could do it. You feel what I'm saying? Because now now we got more.
Skip that step.
Yeah,
do
skip
this.
what I did, because you know when you the first, you gonna be the one, you the prototype, you the one that's going, you know, when something fail, a product fail, they gotta remake it. Yeah, you go through all that, the testing of it. You know what I'm saying? But now that the blueprint is laid out, you know, they kind of got it figured out. It's like, do it better than me. You know what I'm saying? Period. If I knew the things that I know now, I would have been that. You know what I'm saying? But that wasn't God plan for me, and I gained peace with myself for that. But it was
Probably
just
you influence a lot of people as you have.
Right.
A lot of people are inspired by you, and they're like, okay, I've seen her do this, I've seen her start this. You're that first influencer, so a lot of times too, you probably were placed here for that.
Yeah.
For that matter, for girls to know how to actually start up a business or walk into your footsteps. So,
and that could be my purpose.
I've met,
right.
even just prior to meeting, you know, by you saying like our friendship, like one thing, when moving here, I met Posh a few years ago, but it's just like even in a short amount of time with us like getting to know each other, I had cousins, friends, people who I didn't even expect to know her because I followed her and I've seen everything on Instagram. I'm like, wow, she is very impressive. Like, she's on her shit. But these people are coming to me, grown-ups, and they're like, I've been following this girl for a while. She was the first person, like, Atlanta is her stomping ground. She has, like, she started the it girl era. So it's like, I know for a fact, if these are older women saying this, I know for a fact you have influenced so many people's lives. And that's probably what, you're very impactful.
And that's another thing too, is like, you know, that keeps me going. You know, like y'all always, I got real ones around me, so y'all always remind me that anyway, that's like regular conversation like today. So yeah, that reassurance, you know, y'all always get it. My sister definitely always make sure I, you know, who I am when I get in that place of like frustration of like, okay, you know, whatever I may go through. So I definitely appreciate that from both of y'all, for sure.
And how you be trying to help me stay on top of my shit too.
No, that's a natural thing.
You need friends like P.
No,
Everybody need a P.
No, for real. Like,
and her heart, she go hard too. If you show her that what advice she's giving and you actually receiving it and you actually applying it, she gonna go harder for you, because now she's become, again, like, it's not chasing money. She's become addicted to the project of it all.
Yeah.
Like, I love what this shit.
like
I see
you
this
said,
shit
I
being
see
big.
yes, it is. It's the future part that I be chasing with things, like whether it's y'all personal or my person. I be like, ooh, yes, do that, because I see, yes, that's what I think is my my itch, like, for sure. Okay, ladies, switching gears, delusional dating in your 20s.
Okay,
let's talk about it. Just as a topic, like, I'll start it off.
Please,
I feel like just keeping it real, just keeping it 1,000. I feel like my only delusion thing that I ever kind of feel like I had to check myself in my 30s or admit to myself in my 30s that I was doing, because you know I'm like so capital P. Yeah. It was trying to make a man or someone into what I envisioned them is. I was just watching something on TikTok about seeing the potential in a person, but they don't see it in themselves. And sometimes we're not chasing that person, we're chasing the potential that we see. So like, I feel like that was my delusion, because back to business, I'm always thinking ahead what this could be. Oh, I see potential in him. We could grow together. We can do this. We can, you know, be Black excellence. So I feel like that was something I did in my 20s that was like, oh, honey. And now in our 30s, we be like, we ain't going by no potential, right? It's going by right now, hard evidence. What are you bringing to the table, sweetheart? Because by your 30s, you not playing about you.
Yeah, you're not playing about you.
You didn't come this far to start playing
20s, you might play with your damn self. Let a nigga play in your face. Or let him, you know, because you more naive then. But when you step into them 30s, it's something that happens with the brain for us that just, it starts clicking.
It makes sense.
What about y'all? What would be y'all delusion that y'all feel like in y'all 20s?
I definitely agree with her 1,001%. I'm just trying to think about how would I elaborate that though. What you think, Nay?
My delusion in my 20s, yes, because I have them.
Yes. What's one of yours?
Probably,
yes, delusional was I would honestly always say my favorite one is probably definitely, and I'm gonna say the name just because off the strength is probably just Deuce. I would say that was definitely because that's what the question is, right? Like, what was that delusional
like something
situation?
Like something you would do in your 20s. So basically, that's basically your relationship that you felt like was in your 20s and you was a little delusional.
Okay, yeah. So basically, in that situation, and just understanding that, going back to it, like, you can't calculate love, if that makes sense. You can't determine based off of an action of someone if they really truly genuinely love you, because there are paid actors. There are people that want to act for a living. There are people that act for a hobby. There are people that like whatever. There are people that love to act. And actually in this life, a lot of people pretend. Like, a lot of people act. A lot of people, what they say, that new word that they just keep throwing out lately is the love bombing thing. A lot of people love bomb you. And I would say in my 20s, the delusion was definitely feeling like this is love, if that makes sense. This is love. This is definitely love. It's no, oh yes, he want to put a gun to my head. He want to stalk me. He want to stop me from...
Open that door, sissy. Open that door, because you really made me forget about something. You absolutely right. That's a lot of things that, like my sister was saying, like, as women, it's like, we think that the physical, the toxic, that's love. And that is what you think in your 20s. No woman can deny that they haven't thought that in their 20s. No, it's always just because even still, there are still women in their adult lives that still need that little push from a nigga, or that little, well, I wouldn't say push, but that little like aggression from him, needing that little bit. She need to see he a little jealous about something, or he need to reassure her when a nigga look at her, he like, hey buddy, like it's still women that need that. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't either. I prefer you to keep it cool. Let me take care of it, because you got to understand within me that that's not for me regardless. Even if you feel like it's a possibility or potential, trust me enough to know that I give a fuck about you. I love you. I love you. My words can't tell you that. Only thing I could do is, as we said, it's hard to say because I can pretend like I love you, but I can do me. However you choose to take that is for you, but I'm not trying to prove it. That's an early red flag, because in a healthy relationship, you want your partner to feel secure, not insecure. And you get what I'm saying? That always, when a partner always jealous or something, that's always self-reflecting of how a person feel about themselves. So that is like a red flag that we used to miss and be like, oh, this is love, he loved me.
All that toxic. And I don't like I look back, that's really not even my character. And I look back, a lot of ways I've acted out of anger. I look back on it like, what? I wouldn't let somebody even take me to that extent. Like, I want to reside where it's safe at.
It's like, insulting to yourself when you think about it. Like, I can't believe I can't believe I acted out like that. But it's a growing pain. It's something that we all, me personally, even through all my bad experiences where I feel like I try not to say like I would have skipped that, because I enjoy all of my experiences. I wouldn't be as strong as I am today without it.
That's true.
So for me personally, I felt like everything I've been through built me. Now, certain things, like me and my sister was discussing like the other day, like it's certain things I would have known, and which we will get into when it comes to it, with having the credit guru in here with us. His credit is one of those things that I felt like I wish it was just a little more prominent in my life during my younger years. And it's not to say like it wasn't spoken about in the household, but it wasn't as like right now for me, if I had a child, a whole setup would be set up, if it makes sense. Like the conversations about why not to do this would be a little bit deeper. It would be a little bit more to actually not just telling you not to do it, or hey, listen, slow down on that, wait on that, don't do that. It's not just telling you what to do. I'm going to give you
Mapping
the full explanations as to why we ain't going to do this right now and why you going to wait a little bit on that. Because I feel like what happened with us during our times of our younger years is I feel like it wasn't enough explaining. It was always frowned upon for parents to explain themselves to children. It was always because I said so. And I think we need a little bit more of why. And go ahead and go a little deeper. Help them understand, because then if not, they're going to still do what you ask them not to do. And then you're going to try to explain to them, see, this is why I didn't want you to do it. Why not give them that same why before they do it, so then they don't get into it. If that makes sense. Preventative measures, maybe.
For sure. And you right, sister. We do have the credit guru here, so we might as well tap into that. Like, I definitely feel like that's important, but I feel like too with our parents, I feel like in their era they ain't know no better. You get what I'm saying? So it's like we could change that narrative at our, because we know now and we're well educated, and that just opened door for generational curse. You know what I'm saying? And
that's true.
Opened also the door for generational wealth.
So
that's really good. Where our millennial need needs to learn before stepping into parenthood, or if you already into parenthood, to take that serious as far as building your child a future.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not
That's
just the clothes,
true.
not just the materials, like the important stuff.
Yeah.
To set them up for real.
And the fact that you already know all of that, it's like everything I wanted to say, y'all just took it out of my mouth, because that's so true. It's like, I was going to piggyback and say that I think what happened was a lot of parents too, they just did not know how to explain to their kids like how to set themselves up for financial freedom, because especially if you're from someone like me, and my mom really didn't work majority of like my probably like preteen up until I graduated college. My stepdad was a hustler. You know, he got it by all means necessary. Money wasn't an issue for our household, but if you asked him anything as far as financial literacy, he would not know the answer to that. He did not have like credit cards and things of that sort. You know, it was just like cash deals. And so I think a lot of times they just didn't really understand the importance of how powerful credit was. They may want it to, but they just didn't take the time to, you know, actually obtain that information. And back then, a lot of information were in books. Before people started coming to this internet, a lot of information was in books, and people did not like to read.
That's how they said they kept us, you know, black people dumb.
Blindsided, absolutely.
They put it in a book. They said
put
they
it in
gonna
the
open
books,
the book.
books. That's why if you ever met a man that went to prison forever, you like, this man, why is it? Because he
they
read all the books.
No, for real. That's true.
I just think that a lot of times they did not know to set us up for financial freedom. But again, like P said, it's our job to do that now. Because, like, if you know, one day, I'm sure we all in this room desire to be a mother at some point. So it's very important for us to have our credit, like, situated now, because when we do become a mom, by the time that child is 13 years old, we should already have their credit established. So when they get to their 18, 19 years old, they can go get a vehicle. They're in position already. You're absolutely right. So that's pretty much what I would have to say as far as like why.
So whatever some top gems you can think of that you can tell a 20-year-old that she can be doing right now to start her up even more advanced than we, you know, got our business together. You know, where something that she can help her. What does she need to start doing? A couple tips for girls out there around that age.
I would think at that age you will, if you're not already like on your parents' credit cards and you don't have any like established credit history, at that age you want to go ahead and start securing your credit cards. You want to go ahead and start getting a secure credit card, because everybody assumes that credit is one of those things that you can just get and you don't necessarily have to put the work in to it. But there's no one walking this earth with an 800 credit score and they have not been building credit. They have not been establishing credit. And what I mean by that means at some point they took a chance on themselves and they said, Capital One maybe sent them an offer, and the Capital One said, I'm going to give you a secure credit card. They're like, well, I don't have no credit. Check the credit, 620, 650, whatever it is, it's below a 700. And they apply. And when they apply, Capital One say, well, you don't really have credit, so it's going to cost you $99 or maybe $199 to get this credit card. So when in that moment, that's when your life changed. In that moment, that's when you can decide to be a big girl and start building your future, or you can start to say, I don't know about that. Doesn't really sound accurate. In that very moment is when you can change your life for the better financially, because you put that $100 on that secure credit card, you're not losing the money. You just put it on a credit card to start building. I got my first 2 credit cards in college.
Me too,
a
girl.
Capital One and a Victoria's Secret, girl. And tell me, and now that's why my credit can be in the 700s, 800s now, because of the fact that I've had credit cards open 5, 6, 7 years.
That's true.
You have to have them history.
No, an untold story when I was in Albany, honey. Bored as could be, honey. My sister visitations had slowed down. You know, I'm bored, girl. I went to Bank of America and they were like, we can give you a credit card. You 18, blah, blah, blah. Whole time not knowing that's like fresh meat to the lenders. You know what I'm saying? They know we dumb. Gave me a $2,000 credit card, girl. Why did I spend all the money on one pair of shoes that hurted? Some Christian Louboutins.
You don't have no discipline.
The whole $2,000 gone.
$2,000
gone.
Oh my God.
So that's why I say, like, you know, with life, it becomes lessons, you know what I'm saying, that you don't know no better. And it's so easy to get in things and so hard to get out of things. But like you said, that was a good way to starting that age, around 18, to start your track record. Because it is probably why. You know, you had that long history sheet.
The lenders care. Like, I kid you not, people be like, oh, we both can have a 700 credit score. But if I walk into the lot and I've been had a credit card open 14 years and yours been open 6, who you think they're going to take a chance on more?
They won't miss 14.
Yeah, because I've never been late. And you've never been late in your 6 years.
Yeah, but I ain't got 14 to show.
I got 14 years. I got 7 more years ahead of you.
Yeah.
And that's one thing I learned. They're looking at that history.
They're looking at that history. Yeah.
That count a lot. Even it goes with the number.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
I'm
sense.
learning.
That is
That's
a
good
part
thing to have
of
an
it.
ace to educate, good, because I'm learning.
And they break it down for you. For the ones who don't know, if you actually have credit karmas or whatever choice you have, because it's like credit wise, I know you can go through your bank. Some banks do credit
Don't
wise.
believe nothing but FICO. My FICO.
Yeah. So which
my
one
FICO.
is that?
So you can always go by My FICO. It's an app. You technically have to pay for
you
it.
had me do that one.
So you have to pay for that one. Experian and My FICO, because now 90% of most lenders, they pull your FICO scores. So that's what most of them are looking for. Credit Karma and Credit Wise and Identity IQ, all of those are like your Vantage scores. So those are not your accurate credit scores.
Yeah.
They do give you a accurate credit report, but the score doesn't reflect.
Yeah, and I think
your,
that's probably why I use all of those, because I'm more so, I watch my credit more than I watch my number, because chasing the number part is what's always going to either discourage you from doing the right thing or it's going to make you do the wrong thing. So I always try to focus on what's on the report. Actually.
Oh, that's a smart move. A lot of people, you know how many people don't know that?
Yeah.
Most people just call me for credit report and they just ready to get their credit fixed. And I'm like, well, you do realize that there's nothing really on here but a credit card. You just need to pay that. You don't need credit repair. You just need to pay that credit. That's it. I'm like, you did not look at that report.
Yeah. What is some things in y'all 20s that y'all wish y'all could tell y'all younger self? I mean, what's some things now that y'all know that y'all wish y'all could tell yourself in y'all 20s about friendship? I'll pop it off.
I was going to say, because I could go now.
Since I was waiting on you to take off.
No, I'm sorry, because I ain't know. I was like,
No, I was waiting on you.
The guest
Pop it
was
off.
going for. Oh, no, yeah.
I got a good one, too.
For me personally, it's just watch who you take serious as a friend. If anything, just watch who you try to take serious. I'm a person where I overpour into people. It's not a thing that I'm aware of. I'm conscious of it now. It's something that I'm just now learning about myself. So now I'm very strict. Very strict. Don't give a damn what you got going on. Me too. Me too. I want something too, because I'm a person of I just like people when I'm out. I want to be happy when I'm out, so I want people around me to be happy when I'm out. So I don't want going out to be like, this was when I used to go out, actually, and put that out there. Going out wasn't supposed to be a thing of headache. It was supposed to be a thing of peace, a thing of like, let's just go not think about nothing serious. Let's just go have fun. And then, you get around people and it's like, oh, I don't got the money or this or whatever the situation is. It just never have been that case with me. Like, I haven't ever, if I call my friends and I'm like, let's go out, is we going out. It's not, let's go out and I need your money. You get what I'm saying? So that was my issue and my sister knows this, like, my issue was always that, like, that post on Instagram when it's been like, I'm done balling. I think I reposted it. It was like 2020.
You said starting
January. Yeah, December or January.
Something at the end.
Yes, but it started already. If I didn't put it, it's active right now. But yeah, I'm just done trying to, like, I can't control people's happiness, you know what I'm saying? And I damn sure can't control people's happiness with my pockets.
Hello.
So I realized, I love my money. I like my money where I can see it.
And you like nice things too, Nate. So you need.
And I do, and I'm a very sporadic person. I'm a person of, I would literally, me and my sister go in the mall, or I'll go in the mall by myself, and I had no desire or will or want. I don't want a lot of things. But if I see things, I don't mind treating myself to them. Which them boots, I'm still having buyer's remorse for these Bottega boots that I bought when I was with my sister. She made me feel it.
You know how you have to be in a mood to debate.
She definitely was like, I mean, sis, if you like
but
them,
she can read the room.
Yes, she was very much, ma'am, you don't need them boots. And
you got them anyway.
And it's still been stuck on me.
But one thing she told me and my mom was, we don't know her new style. So I'm stuck with that too. Because sometimes, hey, you don't get the pictures.
Yeah.
You might don't get the pictures. So, that was funny with the regretful remorse.
Yes.
But so basically, that was good.
Yeah,
Sissy. That was
basically
good.
just making sure I watch who I take serious. Currently, right now, I could honestly say that my job has played a big part in, like, people that who was and is playing a role in my life, and a lot of the friends that I quote unquote had or have came from the production of my job, if that makes sense.
Right.
Like, I built my lifestyle, and everything that I did, my identity became my job, if that makes sense. And I was very happy with that, because technically it was me running from something anyway. It was me running from having to address those fears that I have of going out of town, getting on a plane, going somewhere. So work has always just been my excuse. And the people that came with the job was just easy to allow in, because we all do the same thing anyway.
It was
so
convenient.
It was convenient. And it's like, no more convenient friends. Like, you gotta be, you need to actually go out of your way to be my friend. Actually, I need to see you be uncomfortable, because I know for me, it's not a thought, it's not a doubt. I'm gonna come hard about mine regardless.
I love that.
Yeah.
That make me feel so good as a sister, because to have a sister, you always gonna have that person that's super protective. That's like throughout my years of friendship trauma. My sister, she warned me about a couple ones that I still went over there and I said, no, sissy, this my friend. You feel what I'm saying? We can talk about it, but that's the thing about a sister is like, and with me and mine, it's like you respect they boss. I respect everyone bossness, but a sister's gonna see things you might don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You might don't see. And one thing my sister said that I loved was that people gotta deserve you. Like, you know what I'm saying? They gotta show you they work, because that's what life's about. I tell you two, most importantly, because y'all are the most sweetest people ever, honey.
Yeah.
And I tell y'all how rare y'all is, because I don't been on the gorilla side. You feel what I'm saying? I don't been on the savage side. They ain't coming like y'all coming.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's a dime a dozen. So that make your worth go even higher. And though you humble, you still sit in your work. You still sit at the shelf that you supposed to be at. And when those good people that do deserve you, they will meet you up there. Because good people deserve good people. You feel what I'm saying? That's why me and you, we stay on the same page reading the same book. Because we feel each other cup as a friendship. It's not no, what you can do for me. Can you feed me? Can you buy? You know, it's just naturally genuine. It's not even how me and my sister is. It's just not even spoken about. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I love that, sister. And that's what it's about when it's like, when you're smart and you naturally born with good discernment, it might don't come when it's supposed to come in your 20s. It might come in your 30s. And a lot of things about 30s that I love and I fell in love with my 30s is the discovery of yourself. I'm like, oh, this me? This, like, that blew my mind when I stepped into my 30s. And I was scared, because I'm used to being the little sister, the youngest in charge, this, that, and the third. I was scared of them 30s. I didn't even want to admit it to myself. I damn sure didn't admit it to my audience. Didn't keep it real with them. Like, I'm 30 now, y'all. I'm 30. You know, and so that opened where people was wondering, which is cool too. Keep a mystery. But you know, I had, it took me 31, 32. It took me 32 to get comfortable. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I'm like, I'm 32, and I'm standing on it. I mean that. You know, and that's what it is. So. No, I respect that, sissy, tenfold. I love that for you. That's like, you know, when you, from a bird's eye view, my sister may can see something I can improve. I can see something she can improve, vice versa with our friendship. And it's just, I tell Nate this all the time. When I don't have to say nothing and you discover it, sissy, I love that. I live for that. Because that's how I know I'm surrounded by the realest ones. You feel what I'm saying? It's be a different motherfucker don't take accountability. They're not real with themselves. I can't do people who live in delusion. You feel what I'm saying? And that's the difference from like them 20, you can hang around a bunch of friends that's delusional. And you okay with it.
And you'll make excuses for them.
Yes. Plenty of excuses. Plenty of excuses for their actions. But in them 30s, it's strict. It's a tighter ship. And one thing I would say about me and my 20s of friendship is to listen to my discernment. Don't ignore it.
Follow it.
Yes, follow it. But, you know, stay sharp. And don't, like, again, make people to who they're not fit to be. My thing used to be, I was thinking everyone was like me. They think like me. Girl, they kick it like me. They move like me. But when I found my peace is when I noticed, Posh, they not nothing like you, baby. You need to at least accept them people for who they are, place them in their position, and move around, love. Move based on who you are, and God will send you your people, which He did. You know what I'm saying? I tell her all the time, girl, you worth 10 friends. I don't need a crowd. I need quality.
That's true.
It's not quantity, it's quality, my love. You feel what I'm saying? saying?
Yes.
That's why when I speak on Mike, he's quality to me. He's a quality fucking person.
Yes.
So you 10 people. You know what I'm saying? When you got solid individuals, they're priceless to me.
That's true.
I agree.
So I would definitely be big on listening to my discernment, because like we say, you already sharp. Sometimes you just get favorites and people you like and this, that, and the third. So you bend the rules.
At that point, it's just playing dumb.
Yeah.
You definitely playing dumb. Because what else are you doing? Because you knew.
Yeah.
You knew. And that's
definitely on playing dumb.
And knowing also is a weapon as well. Knowing is the bullets in the gun. Knowing is you think I didn't know, and just because I don't expose you for who you are, and I continue to entertain whatever little bit of shenanigans you have in you, it's okay. And
but
it's
that's
okay
that 30 maturity. Because 20 for me used to be like, no, it's pressure, and I need you to know it.
Yeah, like
now it's more like, baby, you will be confused fucking with me in my 30s. Baby, hey.
In my 20s, I feel like I used to sweep a lot of stuff under the rug, and now I won't.
Acknowledging and being aware of who someone is and what you just said, them two different things, because that, like how you said, what was the exact words you said? Like,
I said in my 20s, I would just like sweep things up
under the rug and allow people
just, like, suppress my feelings and be like,
you don't speak about it.
I don't speak about it. I just let it go, and then eventually at some point,
you can still do that same thing and play dumb, because it's a thing of now, like how Posh said, it's perfectly placed. It's a board game. Now I know where to place you in this game. Now because it's all a board game. Now I know what player you are. I know where to place you. I know if you are actually a starter or if you just somebody that's way back on the bench, baby.
Yep, hello.
I pull you out when I need you. Yep. It's just it's placement. Everything is placement. And it's sad that it's that way, but that's the world we live in today. Yep. I don't want to be outdated with what's going on around me. I don't want to be outdated with, because people thought process, the elevation, people think more slick and trifling, and people cross you more these days than they actually keep it real with you.
Oh yeah,
it's more like snakes in the grass. Like snakes in the grass used to be a thing you could say when you could actually go point out the snakes in the grass. Now you can't. You really got to damn near say, I gotta get out the jungle, because we in the jungle now. We not in the grass.
That's real.
The snakes has taken over. The snakes run shit. So we really got to get out of the jungle. I just want to be on the other side of the glass watching the snakes. I want to be protected from the snakes, but still be able to see you when I want to see you for entertainment. Because God, even in the Bible, the snake was entertainment. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? So when necessary, pull you out. You're not a collectible item. No, you are definitely in the storage unit, but I'll pull you out when I want to play.
That's true. Basically, and that's that 30-year-old thinking. That's that when your brain set in differently between in your 20s, where you would be irate or show out or curse people out, or you don't control your emotions. I tell that all the time. Like, we play chess, not checkers. It's always been that. So you know what I'm saying? Even the sweep things under the rug or playing your face, it'd be like, no, you know to keep your notebook out and notate that. You ain't forgot. You just gonna move accordingly. And what I learned to control the room, to control people's mind, is you have to control yourself. If you can control yourself, you can control anybody. And women don't know their power, because we really run everything, especially some men. You feel what I'm saying? Because our brain is just way sharper. It's always been that way. So it's like, if you can learn to control yourself and your emotions, you can, baby, if you say you want them to jump and how high, they're gonna do it. Because it's like a mastermind thing. It's a way to communicate. Like, and that's things you learn as you mature. You feel what I'm saying? Like, everybody ain't gotta know your every feeling. You know, keep a mystery. Sometimes let them wonder. Those are the people that last long in the jungle with the snakes, because it's heavy. You feel what I'm saying? It's heavier. But like my sister said, you're right. It's more snakes now because it became so acceptable to be a snake, to slime somebody out. It's so cool now. It's like buying a shirt. You feel what I'm saying? And then the real is in the jungle trying to survive through the snakes. But not knowing that real always win. The stairs will always be long lasting. I always tell God, like,
over the elevator,
I'm cool with taking up the stairs. You feel what I'm saying? Because I know once I get to the position of millionaire, I'm staying there permanently. I'm not. It's not going to be where I'm up and then I'm down. It's going to be where I'm up and I'm up there for a while. I'm up there for good.
Also, I even love that, sissy, even that reference, because taking the stairs also, when you get up there, you're in shape So whatever it is that
Yep.
happened, you have went and climbed those stairs. You didn't
Yep.
get on the elevator
gotta
and
take the
skip
hard
floors
way.
and shoot up in 1 minute. No, you didn't. It wasn't that. You
Facts.
took the stairs. It was one step at a time. You might have ran, you might have jogged. However you got up there, it was still one
still
step at
took
a
your time.
time.
One step
at
You
a
wasn't
time.
jumping the
And
stairs.
this free game, girl, is when y'all having them hard days that you be like, you be beating up yourself. You be like, I ain't where I supposed to be. You know, we all going through it as humans.
Yeah.
Definitely tell yourself to piggyback off that, sissy, is the journey you go through to get where you supposed to be. Those are tools. So the more tools you have when you get up there, the more you're going to be able to survive, like sissy said. Those are lessons. The lessons that come with life is like tools. It's survival kit. You feel what I'm saying? So when you do get up there and things happen, because you could be where you want to be at in life and something terrible
always
happen,
gonna be
but
something.
you're going to have to be able to know how to
Navigate.
act with that move. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and that's big. That's big. Like, every girl, every woman should know
Sharpen
that
your
20s,
skills.
30s, whatever.
Yeah.
As soon as you jump off the porch, please know that. Like,
Yeah.
Your tools are sharpened.
because some
Like,
people, we beat ourselves up too much. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes, like they say one thing the devil will always attach himself to is your mind. Because once he got your mind, he got you. You feel what I'm saying? He know that's how God communicates with his people.
Yeah.
So he try to take your mind and, you know, put these things in it that ain't even true. That's like when we overthink.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
We think
yeah.
bad things, but you know, and then don't even understand the power of a thought.
Yep.
Yep, that's true.
Just like the power of your mouth. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying?
Power.
Yeah, that's true. That is so real.
No, that is real, for sure. You see, sissy, something?
And I definitely think that's a part of my issue too, of me being so overly equipped and so powerful in my mind, but still so weak at the same time. And
me too,
And
Renee.
and that's because
That's sad.
it's like, it's not that I don't believe, it's not that I don't understand. It's just at some point of my life when I was so deep down and thinking that I was on the right side of everything, I was on the wrong side of it. And it's like I just keep reminding myself that you, at some point, you got off track. So you got to accept what consequences you got when you was off track. Now, as deep as you were when you was, you know, going through anxiety or whatever the feelings that you starting to feel, it wasn't something you came in with. It's something. It's a souvenir to remind you as exactly why you're changing your life and why what's important to you has to change. And like how my sister's saying, like, I haven't been to a church physically since when they moved, because I was going to church in Summerhill.
And you actually put me on to them.
Yes, I love my pastor. He's still alive, clearly, but he moved to Ellenwood. And to me personally, this was Word of Faith is like a home church. It's like our home church because my uncle actually introduced Word of Faith to the family. When he passed away, my grandmother ended up going to Word of Faith. Long story short, this church that I was going to was a home church for me personally as an adult. Great church. I actually enjoyed it. It was in my comfort zone, blah, blah, blah.
Connected to that church, obviously.
I found a home church. Remember that. My home church, after all of these years of me going to this church, literally in my comfort area, moves to Ellenwood. It wasn't that the devil was trying to take the church from me. No, God was trying to make me uncomfortable because you're going to this is your home church, right? Let's see how much you're going to put in, how much you're willing to fight to continue to have whatever feeling, whatever connections you gain from this church. Are you willing to shake off what you consider to be anxiety, but it's still the devil having a little bit of control of you? We got to give him what his credit is because that's still his control. Are you willing to shake that, or you gonna let him still play with you, and now you losing out on your favorite church? I lost out on my favorite church. I haven't been to church. You get what I'm saying? And that's for me the one piece of my life that I feel like I'm missing is actually physically being in that house, or being somewhere where it's outside of my home, outside of my head, outside of my job, outside of my car, just a place, you know what I'm saying, of comfort, like to be able to. I love church. I genuinely do. I love to go to church. I love to feel it. I love to cry the most at church. I would cry at church, after church. I used to enjoy those type of feelings because it was a wake up every time. But I just feel like just what you were saying, the devil still have me in some sense because of the simple fact of me keep allowing him to play with my head. when it comes to my
But
anxiety.
always understand, sissy, that the war is not over. You know what I'm saying? Like, now that you realize that, and when you take accountability and you step into that, now it's your time to challenge yourself. And it's just between you and God. You get what I'm saying? But now it's a self-challenge where you become aware of that. Like, I ain't finna choose this over God. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's what it get to. Like, oh, you love that more than me. That he's a jealous God. You get what I'm saying?
That's true.
So that's why when I made mistakes through life, it's like I always think about that. Like, if my church far from my home, but I always tell myself, like, especially when God, like, put me in a debt-free, no worry life, I really was like, God, if you do this, I'll be there every Sunday. And I had to keep my word. You feel what I'm saying? Because he always kept his. So that was a challenge for me. Let me see, can I do this? Can I go a year straight every Sunday, go to church?
And
you know what I'm saying? But, you know, I've had my days or two where I'm like, God, it raining hard. You know, like, I don't like to drive in the rain. You know, you get to making up excuses. So with that, I haven't done it perfectly yet. But I get off on keep challenging myself until I can do it. You know, that's just like me getting baptized this year. That didn't make me perfect because I got baptized. But it was like, okay, all of my old ways, all the things that I used to do, I have washed it away. I have not forgot what I did. I'm fully aware, you know, of my actions, but I have forgiven myself. So once I forgive myself and God forgives myself, baby, I'm at a sense of peace that I cannot buy. It don't matter if the person forgave me or the this or the that, but once you forgive yourself, that means you taking accountability, you lived in it, you sat through and you healed through it. And healing take a minute. It took me maybe 2 years to heal from a lot of things. Not getting credit. The list goes on. Bad friendship. People using me in my career. All of that. I had to heal from that. Like, it took time. But the more you just stay connected to God. You feel what I'm saying? That's like we big on silence. Sometimes you gotta, when things are noisy, I'm big to go silent for a week because I be having to hear from God. Life get a little too noisy. So you gotta slow things down to kind of get that direction because his plan is the plan we're really following. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't our plan that's gonna work. It's really following his plan because every day he wake up, he can tell you what to do. Okay, I'm gonna do this. You know, as much as a calendar girl I am, I laugh at that calendar because I be like, truth be told,
that's not
if something, you know, I'm really gonna go with how God is leading me.
That's true.
That's real.
And I think too, I want to piggyback off a little bit of what both of y'all are saying or have said just now, because while we're in this room, you know, and just talking about God, and I know the things that He have done for me in my life as well, I do feel that as of today, I can say that there is a little more work that needs to be done with me rekindling my relationship with God. And the reason I say that is because if you have asked me 4 or 5 years ago, like, my relationship with God, I would look you in your face and say, God don't play about me. And I mean that. Like, He don't play about me. I've seen Him do the unshakable. Like, I know for a fact.
So your faith was fully charged
My
up.
faith was fully charged up. And when I was that girl too, I was also like young, in my bag a certain type of way, alone, because I didn't have an issue with being alone. You know, that was my creative. That's when I used my creative space. And I think too, that relationship kind of was like transpired and inspired by a previous relationship that I had in college with the older guy. He was much older, but the way he believed in God and talked about God, at first I'm like, you know, it's not that I didn't believe in God. I'm just like, bro, all you do every time we talk about something, it's like, talk to God, talk to God, talk to God. And I started doing it. And I remember moving to Atlanta with maybe $1,500, $2,000 in my account. I kid y'all not. My rent was paid up a few months, but that's all I had in my account. And I remember going out and partying with my friends, big sexy, just partying, y'all, like, I don't have no tomorrow. And the well started running dry. And I'm like, what I'm about to do? Because I got my boutique, but it ain't generating this kind of income. And long story short, I just remember praying to God, and I said, God, I need you right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to find my next dollar and stuff like that. He was like, you know, He led me to a job that I did work at a pediatrician office for 9 months. But even in that moment, I realized that I'm a boss. Like,
it's not for me.
This is not for me. So during those 9 months, I did not fall short. I didn't fall short. I stayed focused. Like, I continued to still do my boutique. I got inventory. And I was like, you know what? When I get a free extra $3,000, like, that I just want to blow, I'm gonna. Because remind you, I'm doing all this by myself. So I'm like, I'm gonna get into credit because it was something I was actually interested in at the time, and that's how I met my friend Dwayne. I ended up paying him for credit. But long story short, I was just basically saying that to say that even in that moment, I do adore going to church and things of that sort. Yeah. It's a different feeling for sure. But God is someone that like it's something that It's a relationship that no one can tell you that you don't have. It's something that He has your back. So even with piggybacking off what you saying that you're not able to commute to that church right now out of your fears, just talk to Him every day.
Oh yeah,
because He still hear you. And I know you are doing that. But I know that for a fact. I know it was probably a connection with that church. But even with me not even going to every Sunday church, back then,
because you just got on the church.
I just got on the church,
right? I heard you was on.
And she's inspired me to do that because I'm trying to restore my relationship with God. Because I'm just like sometimes.
But you know what I don't do, and what real friends need to take heed. I don't judge you. I don't judge you that every Sunday you're not there with me, or that you're not doing that on your own. I don't judge you for that because like you said, first of all, y'all know God is just within you. Your relationship with God is within you. The only thing that I really get from church is like, even though you have faith every day, it's like when you go there and you spiritually there, it's like He recharging your faith. So you leave with super faith. So y'all got, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a recharge. But I don't judge you because I feel like everybody has their own journey. You know what I'm saying? It was a time before I found Dream Center that I was led to a church that was on Monday. And I was really thinking in my spirit, God never told you to start going to church on Monday. You know why I was going to that church? Because it was on Monday and it was convenient for me. And that's where I had lost my mind. And then when I got in that church and I paid my tithes and I paid money and the lady got on the mic and singled me out. That's what made me find the Dream Center. A lady, the preacher, she got on the mic. I don't speak negatively, but this is my story. She got on the mic and she singled me out like, oh, influencers in here, y'all need to pay more because we need a new couch and and that's when I felt bullied, and I don't really get bullied. You feel what I'm saying? But I feel like when you in church, you kind of let all that down, all the gangster come down when I'm in the building. So it's like I felt attacked. You know what I'm saying? And that made me so uncomfortable because I'm like, this ain't how this supposed to go.
Not how
but that's in my early 20s, so I'm not knowing. I just love God. You feel what I'm saying? So if somebody tell me, girl, go to this church, I'm gonna go try it, and it was cool at first. You feel what I'm saying? But it was a lot of different things that were red flags, and I was thinking the other day.
The good churches.
I started going to Dream Center in 2017. I was like, what led you there? I don't even remember how I got there. You feel what I'm saying? But I know that experience led me from out of that church. And that's much when I kind of started watching Bishop Murphy online. And that was so good that I was like, I'm going to this actual physical church, and I fell in love with it. You feel what I'm saying? But everybody's journey is different.
That's true.
That let me find my bishop who speaks to me, who's my 911 to God when sometimes he ain't picking up for me. You feel what I'm saying? That's and that God found my bishop for me. You feel what I'm saying? Do I think he's perfect? No, ma'am. No human is perfect. Because that's what people get confused with God. It's like, no, my God is perfect. I serve a perfect God. There's no human, because it's stuff coming out about T.D. Jakes and a lot of them that aren't God's people. And you don't judge the person, but I was like, if something, just say something happened or someone said something against my bishop, if there is something that I don't believe in, then I'm going somewhere else. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm standing on, I don't bend my rules when it comes to my God based on who I like as a human. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I feel like our generation need to separate it from. They be so like cult loving a bishop. You feel what I'm saying? When, you can say a million things this bishop did where it's not godly and they still follow them. But you supposed to love God like that. You're not supposed to love no preacher, no bishop, no prophet. Period. You don't supposed to idolize nobody, even celebrities. You don't. So God don't want no one idolizing no celebrity. You feel what I'm saying? That's cult like behavior. That's going against. He's a jealous God. You only supposed to feel God about that way, and God approve of you feeling that about yourself too. You get what I'm saying? But
that's true.
Yeah,
for sure. No, it is. That's definitely valid.
No, for sure.